Scott,
Yep.
what are you working on?
Oh, okay. So, I started preparing a lecture on marriage and divorce for the prophets class, and then I kind of got distracted. But I think it'll still tie back in. So, the original thing is, what did marriage look like and what did divorce look like during the time of the prophets? So it's like during the time of the kings of Israel, basically, or pretty much, mostly like Second Kings. There's not a ton of information about it, and even the stuff that's in the prophets, sometimes it's tricky to tell, what would be outrageous to the listener and what would be descriptive of normal behavior. And there's also some laws about divorce, so trying to figure all that out. That led me down this path to figure out, what's the social impact of marriage and divorce? So that led me down to looking at houses. And what's really interesting is there's these differences between houses in the city and houses in rural environments, right? So like farm towns and stuff like that, where the majority of the population is. So on average, anyway. So there's just reading this article by Avi Faust on why that is, and the idea is that in the cities, these smaller houses existed in their small size, about 50 square meters, 55 I think is the average. Average is 60 to 70 square meters, which could hold about 5 people, and that's the nuclear family, meaning in the cities, the houses had just, mom, dad, and kids. And when you move to the farm environments, it almost doubles in size. And some people at one time thought, well, that's because they're storing stuff for the farm, but then they found all the storage stuff outside the farm. So well, that can't be. So the explanation seems to also be social, that the main family unit in farmland area is the extended family. So these houses housed like entire families. So bringing that all back to where I was going, divorce in a rural environment would look different socially than divorce in an urban environment. And so would marriage, and what does that look like? And that helps when you're dealing with, well, first, it's just helpful to understand you're looking at complex societies, and we tend to treat the ancient world, we get a little nugget of information, and we kind of flatten everything out. It's not flat. It also helps us when we're reading, if you just go through and search the prophets, just descriptions of what's going on in houses are everywhere in the prophets. So it's very helpful to know what they're talking about, what the social environment is. So in terms of just application of this data that I'm pulling in, it's tricky because you don't always know when you're going down these rabbit trails how it's going to pay off, but sometimes you see little nuggets of it. So for example, while I said that in the cities you get these small houses, there are exceptions to that. The exceptions are the kings and the ruling class maintain these large extended families. So if you look at the way Amos talks about the rich, that plays out when you start looking at how the houses work. And you can kind of start to envision these relationships, I think. So anyway, still kind of in the middle of the rabbit trail. It's still a little bit wet cement, and I just ran across another article that says, yeah, those are all dealing with averages. Anyway, there's still a lot of work to be done on it, but it's pretty neat stuff, I think. So that's what I'm working on.